Welkom, één en al. Dit is het programma Eigen Pad. Deze show bespreekt de onderwerpen van het menselijke bewustzijn, moraliteit, manipulatie, natuurwetten, het occulte en alle kwesties die de vrijheid van mensen op aarde beïnvloeden. Mijn naam is Glenn Tram van thegreatworkexperience.com en ik ben je gastheer voor vandaag. Dag Anna, hoe gaat het? Goedenavond allemaal, goedenavond. Dames en heren, regeringen, controles, alle controlestructuren, zoals religie en centraal gecontroleerde monetaire instellingen, zijn structuren om slavernij in stand te houden. Goedenavond, welkom allemaal, bedankt voor jullie komst. We komen steeds dichter bij het einde van het tweede seizoen. Een speciale dank weer voor Pika Pika Talk Show. De Pika Pika team die heeft het echt heel goed gedaan weer dit keer. Ik ben echt heel erg dankbaar dat ze mij de kans hebben gegeven om dit te verwezenlijken. Ik wil ook, dag Martis, hallo Bonocci. Ik wil jullie ook bedanken voor al jullie gulle donaties, want ik heb de laatste tijden wat donaties gekregen binnen. En het is altijd leuk om weer hulp te zien. Dat betekent ook dat jullie heel erg bezig zijn om dit soort initiatieven te ondersteunen. Mijn dank is groot. Ja, dus het wordt gewoon gebruikt, je donatie wordt gebruikt voor mijn werk trouwens. Dus hartstikke bedankt. Laat me eventjes mijn sheets erbij pakken, want ik wil heel snel iets erbij zeggen. En trouwens, je hebt 8 manieren om te doneren of zo. Ik gebruik 7 cryptocurrencies en eentje is via PayPal, dus alles is welkom. Ik ga proberen mijn sheets erbij te halen, volgens mij. Niet vergeten, voor degenen die hier voor het eerst zijn, welkom. Ik zou je alleen maar adviseren om hier niet te beginnen. We zijn al bezig met 2 seizoenen. Mijn materiaal is een stapsgewijze voortgang van informatie. Dat betekent, de informatie die je in deze show gaat horen, is een opbouw van de vorige shows. Dus ik behandel dingen en ik gebruik bepaalde bewoordingen die misschien niet helemaal, dat je niet eens weet wat het is nog. Ja? Dus het is wel handig om daarvoor te gaan. Okay. Vandaag hebben we Maria West in onze show. We gaan weer een uur lang met haar even spreken. Dat is echt een geweldige personage, geweldige ziel, zou ik zeggen. En niet vergeten, ik heb dank je Anna. Niet vergeten, ik heb nog een actie lopen. Dat betekent dat je dan voor nog een week heb je om jezelf in te schrijven. En volgende week ga ik dan de winnaar of de winnares ga ik dat benoemen. Dan win je 6 maanden Scribe D. Dus een soort Netflix, maar met boeken, tijdschriften. En je krijgt ook perks. Je krijgt een soort van alternatieve video's, et cetera. Dus het is een hele leuke. Ik gebruik het ook zelf voor mijn studie. En dan ga je naar de greatworkexperience.com/s2-promo.html en dan laat je je e-mailadres daarachter. Dat is meer dan genoeg. En dan wat ik doe met je e-mailadres is, ik hou je op de hoogte van nieuwe uitzendingen. Bijvoorbeeld tussen seizoenen in, dit seizoen ga ik dat doen, ga ik dan pre-records doen. Dus dan ga ik het occulte ga ik dan opnemen. En ik ga alles bespreken over het occulte in het algemeen. Ja? En dan kan je het kijken wanneer je zin in hebt. Dus het is niet op dinsdag. Maar ik ga het dan even aangeven. En dan wordt het wel via Pika Pika gezonden. Maar dat soort informatie zal ik dan jou altijd informeren daarover. Dat is alles, niks anders. Ja, laten we even kijken. Ja, we zijn klaar. We zijn klaar met de sheet zelfs. Ja, mensen, Maria West is een op trauma gebaseerde mind control deactivator. Auteur, niet guru, maar spiritueel leraar. Ook bekend als de way shower, zoals ze het zeggen. Ze is de auteur van het boek Fucked Wide Open. Ja, dames en heren, onze gast van vandaag, Maria West. Hi,
hello,
Maria.
Guys. Hello,
How
sweetheart.
are you?
I'm very well. And yourself?
Fine. Welcome again in the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I think today will be the last day. Oh, yeah, but I am very happy that you gave the time, all these times you give your time and your energy to give us as well, to bless us as well with your
My
wisdom.
pleasure. My pleasure. It's
Yeah, I
been
just
really very fun. Very
yeah.
fun.
So the last 2 weeks, I was talking with the audience. We were talking about the Matrix movie, of course, you know that. But the last couple of like weeks, we were talking about who you are and what is your purpose on in life, as well here on Earth. Yeah. Good evening, Anna. That is Anna.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So what I wanted to talk about today is on that subject. So, who are you? Uh, you will be talking to us today about the God or the goddess in us. That's an interesting take on it. I would love to hear a lot about this. But one of the things that we get a lot in the, especially the last movie, is this idea also of connection. So the movie answers, of course. I talk about this. That the movie answers who you are and what is your purpose, right? But a third thing that I have encountered as well is that the movie also talks about the connection between male and female. So because
Yes.
every time those two unite, so I want you to give your take on this matter. Like, okay, so how do you think this masculine, feminine, this force? Because of many people think it's gender. So can you
Yes.
please
Yes.
bless
It
us?
is absolutely not gender. And we have to get beyond that because when we talk about mind control gets distilled at the very basic level. So
Yeah,
if you have a masculine and feminine and a man and a woman, and you can get them to hate each other, you've got to divide. And that makes humanity easy to control because if we're at war with each other, the powers that want to be, all they have to do is sit back and watch it happen.
yeah,
So the work that I do is really about forgetting about gender. Okay. And
yeah,
there are only two, and people are going to be very upset with me because there's only two.
yeah,
I don't really care. You can't change your DNA unless you want to get into a scientific shit show. And
yeah,
so I'm just going to name it. All right. But what
yeah,
we want to do is we want to get away from that because that's a distraction. It has nothing to do with actual reality of what we're all here to do. And we're all here, regardless of our gender, regardless of our beliefs. We're here to move formless into form. We are creative beings.
yeah,
God, goddess, all that is, whatever you want to name it. We're creative beings. So our purpose is to like really connect with being our authentic selves
yeah,
and bringing forward the creative nature that each of us truly are, truly is, and move from there. But what
yeah,
the Matrix does is it gets us to fight each other.
yeah.
It gets us to fight within ourselves. And so within the masculine and feminine, in both male and female
And female
genders,
gender. Yeah,
we have a masculine energy and we have a feminine energy. The masculine part of us, within us, is the doer,
yeah,
the one who takes action, the one who is very into helping with the materialization process.
yeah,
The feminine is the one that receives the information, the inspiration,
yeah,
and tells the masculine what it is that she wants. Okay. So the
yeah.
she and he has nothing to do with gender. It has to do with the energy of being and the energy of doing. So the
Doing.
masculine is doing, the feminine is being. That's the end of the story. It's so simple. And we get all fucked up with,
All the noise of the matrix.
yes, it's a
So
distraction. It's
yeah,
mind control.
yeah,
And the more control that the powers that want to be have over us about how we should be, what we should be doing, how we should be thinking and feeling, the more zombified we are.
yeah.
Okay. One size does not fit all.
Yeah, that's a beauty that you say that there are only two genders. You can have different preferences, but
Absolutely.
yeah, but
Absolutely.
you
I
only have,
do. So
yeah,
what?
yeah, yeah. So what? Yeah. So, but there is only two genders, and you can have different preferences. But in
Yes.
terminology of occult knowledge, in the terms of of spiritual knowledge, we understand that it is indeed only tools, like the feminine force and the masculine force.
Yes.
And the thing that the matrix as well do is that you just said it. I think that's a very important point to stress, is that it makes even when you are confused, is because the masculine and the feminine force are not in line, so are not
Yes.
they're not
Yes.
united.
Yes.
So but how do you think, going forward, should we deal with this feminine masculine kind of a dilemma that we have internally, but as well you see it all over
Yes.
the place externally. So how the
Absolutely.
sexes continually fight with each other. They are looking for equality within the
Yes.
neo feminism
Yes.
agenda that is
Yes.
there. So how do you see ourselves growing beyond this kind of
Right, right. Well, the equality thing is very distorted in of itself, because when we're talking about masculine and feminine energy, it is not a static configuration. Okay, the masculine and feminine energies are doing a dance together. So sometimes we need to be more in our masculine, more in our doing
yeah
than in our being. And sometimes we need to balance out the doing by being more in our feminine and being. That's called rest. Okay.
yeah
And so the matrix has us all confused that the action principle
yeah
is better than the being receptive principle. It's bullshit.
yeah
Okay. And one of the ways that the matrix gets in there is with our family of origin. And this is where we need to start doing the great work
yeah
in order to move into a place of empowerment. For
yeah
instance, you can't be empowered if you don't realize the components of yourself.
yeah yeah
And this is
So-
about knowing yourself, knowing your purpose. Okay.
yeah
You have a being and a doing, and they dance together. All
yeah
right. They're not separate. The masculine and feminine are flip sides of the same
same
being, the
coin. Yeah
same coin.
yeah
And that is very, very hard for a lot of people who are mind controlled into these compartmentalized things
yeah
where nothing is in unity, nothing is integrated,
yeah
everything is separate, and
yeah
you can't separate yourself. And so each of us are born and we have mothers and fathers. Sometimes our moms and mothers and fathers are not in. My father was not in my life.
yeah
Okay. So I have that component missing. But the bottom line is, regardless of whether your parents are in your life, they are our first interface, respectively, with the masculine and feminine principles.
yeah
And so that is our first wounding, quite often, is with our mothers and fathers, because unless we were consciously conceived by a masculine essence, a feminine essence,
yeah
mom, dad, who consciously conceived you because they'd done the great work and they had exited the matrix with this awareness and this consciousness, most of us are pretty fucked over by the time we take our first breath, because there's already these automated programs that go from generation to generation in all directions of timelines.
yeah yeah
And it gets it just by osmosis through our DNA, through past lives, if you believe it, whether you believe it or not, it doesn't matter. There are plenty of studies, there are plenty of accounts that are backed up by data, quote
yeah
unquote,
yeah
right? That that attribute to what it is that I'm saying. So it doesn't matter whether you believe it or not. It just is what it is, and
yeah
that's part of
truth
the objective truth.
truth yeah
It is that we're all in the same boat,
yeah
okay? But we're here to put forward our own unique magic that is meant to lean humanity forward
forward
in
yeah
their evolution.
yeah together. So they basically we have to do it together, male
Yes,
and female, as a
absolutely.
gender, but as well so but to go back to the great work, because I think this is for me, I call it as well the shadow work. Of
Yes.
course, that is also, I think, what you meant with mentioning the great work in this
Mhm.
in this in this sentence. So basically, the great work is working on the things that for you are not resolved yet. So
Yes.
all these traumas, all these things that are still,
Yes.
dark in you. So the dark side of you.
Yes.
You are mean. You are you don't. These things you have to them for yourself. So people has to don't lie to themselves, which is that's like the first thing. Don't lie to yourself, and then look yourself in the mirror. I always use the mirror at the end of my presentation as a kind
Absolutely.
of to reflect, so you can have the reflection. Okay, so what part of my being am I not is not functioning to my benefit, and then try to change that. That is the shadow work. That's the great work. That's the
Yes.
personal great work.
Yes.
I think um, the reason why this is important is because I think, based on this confusion between, like, because we have this problem, this fight of male and female
Yes.
also inside of us,
Yes.
because
Absolutely.
yeah
Absolutely. Our immune systems will fight itself. That's part of the divide right there.
yeah yeah so yeah, but the beauty of this is this concept is that if you want to manifest, because this is where I want to bring it as well home. If you want to manifest anything in life, these two cannot be in this harmony. It's the same thing.
Absolutely. You
Is
cannot. You
this cannot
cannot be at
in this harmony?
odds with one another.
No.
Okay.
So
Because you need the
you have to make
materialization
the
and you need
dance.
the inspiration.
Yeah. So
That's
this
the
is
dance.
yeah, that's the dance. I think that's the reason as well that the Matrix is trying to kind of like divide us also in terms of sexes. So we're not able to manifest anything,
Exactly.
anything, and
Exactly.
then let alone anything good, you know.
Right.
So
Right.
it starts inside of you. So you have to start, stop being confused and get your shit together. I would say
Yeah.
even.
Yeah. And be more proactive rather than being a spectator. And we
Yeah.
talked about this in our previous meetings where people in the matrix are just receivers. They're just taking in copious amounts of information. They're
Yeah.
spectators. They're watching their favorite celebrities live life. And
Yeah.
I think they're also cool while they're sitting there getting fat and stupid and unhealthy
Yeah.
and just following orders,
Yeah.
following what other people are doing
Yeah.
and where what's going on. And one of the reasons why most people are sick is because they are not true to themselves.
Yeah, they lie to themselves. They lie to themselves, or
Yes.
they let other people, their lies to be their truth. So
Right.
they
Right.
basically, that is another way of lying to yourself. So somebody else tells you the lie, and then you just accept it. This is
Yes.
also a form of, if you don't, go out and look for yourself, and there's a lot of things happening now as well in terms of knowledge. Because I always say that, a vaccine or a medicine in that regard
Yes.
won't fix your problems.
No, it won't because
It
it's either
won't.
toxic or tonic. If you have a system that's already toxic,
And
you
and
have to
our
get
system,
straight with yourself because all your parts have split up. You
yeah,
need to have heart, mind, body, soul coordination. Those
yeah,
four components
yeah,
need to be speaking to each other. They need to speak the same language.
yeah,
They can't be at odds. You can't separate them. And when you do separate them, that's confusion. You start creating chaos in your life that doesn't make sense because your heart wants something, your soul wants something else. Your mind is like going, I don't know what the
crazy.
fuck is happening. And
Yeah,
then the
yeah,
body is like going, you guys are killing me. You guys are
yeah.
fucking killing
So
me.
the
Get
body
it
doesn't know
together.
what to do. Yeah, he
Yes.
doesn't know what to do because there is confusion inside of you. There is
Yes.
this,
Yes.
like,
And the body is
disharmony.
very powerful because it is actually run by cosmic, divine, creative energy. But
Yeah,
if that energy doesn't get to flow,
yeah,
then it starts getting impeded. And when the energy of the body gets impeded, all the divine flow of life force,
we'll be stuck.
it's going to be stuck.
Yeah,
And then what do you have? It's got to manifest. So
yeah,
I always tell people that because the other thing that people do is they blame their traumas. Well, I had something really bad happen to me way back
Yeah.
when, or they just identify with that. And I say one of the easiest things that we can do as spiritual beings having a human experience is to utilize any trauma, any bad feeling, anything that tries to distract you from who you are as an invitation to wake up,
Yeah. To
to wake
change.
up and choose again,
Yeah.
and to exit the matrix by owning your awareness. And we've talked about this
Yeah.
over and over and
Over
over
and
again.
over again. Yeah.
And to reconnect with the truth of who and what you are,
Yeah.
rather than, these ridiculous, mind control objectives that have nothing to do with anything.
Nothing. So because you own your own body. So this is what people don't a lot of time don't really get it. You cannot put your responsibility into the hands of another.
No, you
Your
can't.
body is yours, right? You cannot do something and say, "Oh no, that is because somebody else, like the pastor told me to, or the government told me to." It doesn't
Yes.
work
Yeah.
like that, and
Yeah.
the universe doesn't work like that
Yeah.
either. So it doesn't
Yeah.
say, "Oh, because the pastor say I'm going to punish the pastor." It's not going to do that. So you control the body, and then
Yes.
how do you control the body? Through the way you think and
Yeah.
through the way you feel. So through
Yeah.
your heart, through your
Yeah.
mind.
You have
And
to animate your body with your creative energy, with your
yeah,
emotional energy, with your mental
mental
energy,
energy.
with your
Yeah,
soul energy.
because
You
it
can't.
is the extension of
Yes.
that,
Yes.
the
And
body
that
is an
that
extension.
goes back to, well, what is authority? When you start thinking about author, I'm an author,
Yeah,
authorship. I write my own life
yeah,
story, right?
yeah.
This is what we're supposed to be doing.
That's what the
And
word
so,
as well means. Authority
yes,
is, to author, to put it
yes,
into writing. Basically,
yes.
you saying it and it becomes like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So
Whereas most people are trained because they don't think critically. They learn this in the indoctrination centers of these ridiculous, stupid schools. I was very lucky that I didn't go to a lot of public school
yeah,
at the very beginning. So
that's good.
I learned about the trivium and the quadrivium.
Also,
Uh,
where did you learn the trivium?
yeah, it
How
was a
did
little faulty because it was more
at school? You
focused
learned it at
on the
school.
grammatical, right?
Yeah,
But I was also always very, very, very curious, and I could see kids in the public schools. I mean, they're just bored out of their fucking minds
yeah, yeah. I
because
can
it's
imagine.
just being thrown at you. This is reality. This is life. This is what you do. And this is
Yeah,
what people do. They don't want to be the authority of their
on
life.
life. Yeah,
They want to give it to somebody else so they can blame their parents. They can blame government. They can
yeah.
blame
Government.
schools or whatever,
Yeah, yeah.
goober,
Yeah, yeah, the government. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So for those who don't get that joke, you go back a few Mario West with me talking, and then I explain what the government is. But this is nice because what? Okay, so just to go back to the trivium, because I think this is important. Trivium method is not being taught in schools, guys. So
no, no.
so I think people don't know how this it is a disfortune, even I would
It
say.
is. It's being taught
Yeah.
to prep schools who are feeding their students in, say, the Ivy League schools or schools, say, like Stanford University, MIT,
Yeah.
those schools, but regular colleges, are you kidding? Junior high, high school students, grammar school students, they don't know a fucking thing.
No, they don't learn.
I
And
mean, a lot of my
I
friends
believe
don't even know what the fucking trivium is. It's
no, they
it's
don't
like
know.
it's
Yeah.
disgraceful to me. It's
It's
like
very
what?
disgraceful.
Like
And
what happened?
yeah, that's I think dark occultist happened. Dark occultist happened. So I think that's my personal take on it. I think they took it out of the schools so they can create the perfect dumb people because
Absolutely.
yeah, because
Absolutely.
the trivium method.
Consumers of information,
Yeah, consumers.
receptors, no
Except
transmitters, no creative thing,
nothing, nothing.
no critical thinking, no questioning reality, questioning authority.
No.
I mean, I'm the worst order taker ever. I can't.
Yeah.
I
So you
can't.
have to question every authority based on the trivium method. I question the authority even without the trivium method because I have come to the realization that is when the third eye opens. Is
Yes.
that this life is very easy to live.
Yes.
Just do the opposite what they tell you to do.
Yeah.
So it's a they make it easy for you guys. So
Yeah.
seriously, in a sense, we are living in shit times, but in another sense, it's like the best time ever because
Yes.
the things are very like you can get information very easy to your door. You can like what you have to do becomes very easy because you have like it is very easy. Just don't do what they tell you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the
And
trivium
and
method, by the
and
way,
don't believe the quote unquote fact checkers. I mean,
oh
people
no,
will
this
like people will
no.
like get in my face and give me Snopes or give me Wikipedia, and I'm
Okay,
sorry if that is your bottom line for facts.
then you
You're a
are
fucking idiot.
you're an idiot. Yeah,
I'm
you're
just
really an
gonna
idiot.
say it. You're
Yeah,
a fucking moron.
because they
It's
pay
just
all
so
these
convenient.
yeah they pay all these people as
Yes,
well. I mean,
it's paid
and
propaganda.
then why
It
should I
really
not?
is.
And the people say, yeah, but you have to trust a little bit. No, I don't trust them. No, I don't trust them. No, because it is. Look, I see this. I see it also this way. People walk around and say this is you only have one life, which is not true. But let's
Well,
entertain that
you
idea.
only live once in this
Yeah,
body.
in this body. Yeah.
That's what
So,
I said. You only live
but
once in this body.
yeah. So if you only live once in this body, that means let's do it the way they think it is. You only live once. Okay. So of course we know that's not the truth, but let's entertain that idea. You live only once. That would say, why the fuck do you want really to do something that somebody else tells you to do continually? This
Right.
is only
Right.
one life. Just create it yourself and make the best out of it. Don't follow and then say, oh, don't fall into this trap of somebody else know better than what's better for you as a
Right.
person,
Right.
right?
Right. Yeah,
So
that
so
it's a flawed premise
it's a
from the very beginning. It's
yeah.
not. Yeah, not.
No, it's not.
But
But
it's a default for a lot of the zombies in the Matrix. I mean, they can't. They're not ready to unplug. A lot of them. They can't do it.
no, a lot of them are still not there, and as I said, guys. So, Maria, I was talking to the audience as well. I'm telling them, in all the movies, you see Neo always being asleep. So Neo is all. So even though he knows a little bit
Yeah.
about the Matrix,
Yeah.
he's still asleep because he doesn't understand it's about you,
Yeah.
becoming a free author of your
Exactly.
own life.
Exactly.
It is
Exactly.
in harmony, the masculine, because that's what we're talking about, the masculine and the feminine coming together as one whole being.
Yeah.
And then that will bring out the third dimension of things. So they call this in the occult the alchemical wedding. The masculine and the feminine force coming are dancing together. I love the way
Yes.
you do it.
Yes.
They
The
dance together,
dance. The
right?
heros
That
gamos. It's the
yeah,
secret marriage of
the
the
secret.
feminine and
Yeah,
masculine.
and that should come together as an alchemical, like you say, liquid or compound, or you can say
Right.
whatever, and
Right.
then that will manifest the desired, results, the desired
Right.
results in the physical world.
Yeah.
So if I go back to the trivium, because I think I did the trivium, but just for a little while. I think it was like three shows back, but I think it's worth repeating because the trivium is a way, guys, um, to identify truth. I think that's a good explanation. You can use that to identify
Right.
truths. All right. So it's about information, which is knowledge. You have to gather that first. That's the first step. Getting so much information that you can even puke from it. That
Yeah.
is like the
And
first step.
we're on info overload with
Yeah.
the internet
We have
the
enough
media,
resources. Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is why people want to go to, say, CNN, or they want to go to the opposite. They want to go to Alex Jones.
Alex Jones.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's like, I'm sorry, they're both shit shows in my book. It's like,
Yeah,
I
but
like Alex.
sometimes, but I do like Alex Jones more
I do, because
than
he's a shit
CNN.
disturber. He's a shit disturber.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
he's
He's a shit.
actually really smart.
Yeah, he is. He is. If you hear him talk like outside of his show, when he has a like, I saw him talking
Yeah.
just not as a normal person, like put it that way,
Yeah. Yeah.
not as a host. And I think he's a smart individual. He knows.
Very
He,
smart.
yeah, he's a
Family
very
man,
smart. Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? Yeah.
So the trivium is about information, the knowledge. That's the first thing. In the terminology of Matrix, you can say that's Morpheus, right? And then in terminology of your life is consciousness. So understand. Consciousness is a way to understand, right? That's the first step. If you really understand, yeah, that's the second step. Sorry, knowledge is the gathering of the information. The second step is understanding correctly. You have to understand, otherwise it's going
Right.
to be very difficult for you to process the information. So the information that you get in, you will have to be, somehow processing that
Yes.
information. That is and then if you understand that correctly, that will just bring you to the third step of the trivia method, which is wisdom. Wisdom is right action. So that's what she says, is that you have to employ the masculine, which is action.
Right.
So you cannot only, this is what she's saying, guys, you cannot only use the feminine force. Feminine force is a good power. I think it's even the most powerful
Yes,
force
because
out there.
it's
But
the life bringer.
yeah,
It's
it's a life
creative.
bring. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it brings this energy for the masculine force to take off. I think that's why I said, I think last week, Maria, I was telling the audience that I think that women are the ones that can bring us closer to freedom quicker. So
I
if
agree.
I
And
think,
because we have a very substantive collective pain body of the atrocities, the human atrocities that
yeah,
women and children feel. So we are very closely connected to it. However, the other thing that I wanted to bring about in terms of the integration of the masculine and feminine
yeah,
is that right left brain synchronization. That is another instance, that is
yeah,
another example of feminine masculine integration,
yeah,
is the left right brain synchronization. Because
synchronize. Yeah,
some people are too left brain, some people are too right brain. And so the split in terms of our brain function is
yeah.
another way that we get controlled.
Yeah, yeah, that's true because I think in Europe, I talked about this in my presentation as well. So
Yes.
like in for us, it means that, for instance, in Holland, which is more European, they are more left brainers there because everything has to be logic. If it's not
Yeah.
logical,
Yeah.
it's not true. Kind of like this kind of like attitude we have,
Yeah.
and then this is also those who are more apt to become masters because they act and talk and do as though they are the
Right.
boss of everything. Then you
Right.
have the other parts of the Netherlands, which is more the Caribbean part. These are also more people are more like right brainers. They are very creative. I love them to death. But the point is that they are out of both of them. I love everybody. You have to be balanced. That's the only thing that I'm asking
Yes.
everybody.
That's
Okay,
the
yeah,
balance. That's the
that's like,
balance.
what is the balance? Yes.
Yeah.
So the balance is using both, bring the masculine and the feminine
Yes.
both into unison
As life directs, as the moment directs,
yeah.
because
And then
sometimes it's not appropriate to be in your masculine at all.
no, 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 no. But I would even say that the masculine is depending on the situation as well, how you're
Yes.
going to employ the masculine, for instance. Yeah. But the idea is to bring these two together as one. This is the secret, guys. You have to bring these two together, and then that will bring the baby, which is the manifested thing that you want to see
Right.
in
Right.
front of you. So all those people who say that a complete free society is not possible is because they are imbalanced. You're still in the matrix. You don't understand how the principles of the universe works. So
Yeah.
there's still work to be done. So you can come to this realization that you have those masculine and the feminine. You have to bring them together to get the manifested thing. Which and then the manifested thing is the free world that you want. So now, if somebody else is telling you what to think, like the matrix is bombarding you with false information and false shit, yeah, and
Yeah.
then your thoughts will be one way, your heart will be the other way.
Yes.
So you're not
Yes.
manifesting the happiness that you're expecting,
Right. You're
right?
manifesting the mind control
There,
that the matrix
yeah,
wants you to live out as if that is the only reality.
Yeah.
And that's
So
bullshit.
that is bullshit. So this is how they suck your energy, guys, because your focus is what she says. You have to,
You got to own it. You got to be in your center
in your
screen.
center screen. You
Yeah.
have to, own your own thoughts,
Yeah.
right?
And
That's
that's the
basically,
powerful place, because you can see what is distracting. At the
yeah,
same time, you can also see, witness the shit show going in your head
yeah,
that's controlling your thoughts.
yeah,
And, so we get hijacked here and we get hijacked with the shit that we're
out there.
witnessing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so by being awake, this is what it means. This is spiritual awakening. It's being here on your center screen. It's
Yeah.
not, has nothing to do with any angels coming down and,
No,
oh, I'm
nobody's going
making
to,
you awake. It's like, oh my God, I hear
yeah,
that shit. And
all
I
the
just
time.
am like,
That is the problem. We are so stuck in our wrong beliefs.
yes.
We
And
are,
those are those assumptions. And,
yeah,
part of the trivium is you
yeah,
start learning about all these really bad, flawed assumptions.
yeah.
These, yeah, it's
So
not.
you have to give. So what I'm trying to tell the people is, well, give yourself the chance. Stop. Put your beliefs on pause, for instance, and just listen. Listen to other ideas. Listen, because you might learn something. You know what I mean? So you
Yes.
don't have to
Yes.
believe everything we say, guys, but you might learn something if you give yourself the opportunity to put aside your belief system, because those belief systems, they were brought in by the matrix most of the time. Like 9 of the 10 times they were brought in by the matrix, and that's why you believe in it. You don't even know why you believe in it, and going away from it makes you feel bad. I had that as well sometimes. So when you have some belief system, and then when you want to go away with it, you kind of like feel bad as well.
Right. Right.
That was part of my shadow work, by the way. I'm just saying it out there so people understand that I myself, even
That's
I
a
am.
very, very good point. I know for myself, one of the most powerful realizations I've had in my life is when a thought comes in and I realize, wait, is that mine? Is that
Yeah,
even my thought? Because in the matrix are all these energy thought balls of the collective experience of humanity over the millennia.
yeah,
Okay. And these thoughts have been thought over and over and over and over and again by billions and billions of people over the millennia. Are you really thinking them, or have they just been inserted? Did you just get on one of those, sort of, I call them these little hyperlink trains, of all these thought balls that people don't even realize they're not thinking them. They've just been inserted. And
yeah.
then people believe them without question.
They're not even yours. So most of the time you just believe in them and then you act upon it. And then
Yeah.
this is the thing, guys. So the moment you get these ideas, right? And then if you're not able to discern truth, good from wrong, you're gonna automatically fall into the trap of doing that which you think.
Right.
That will bring about their reality and not your reality. You know what I mean? So because it is possible, living in a peaceful world, everybody experience life the way they want to live it. This is the only thing I'm telling you guys. So, and then let if I may talk about a little bit about the NAP principles, which is the non-aggression principle, which is a
Yes.
feminine force.
That's the feminine force.
It's a feminine force, but the defense part of it is the masculine force.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
this is how, when you are in your right as a human being, is when they are starting to impose things on you. You have the right to defend yourself because the universe gave you that right in the first place.
Yes.
Nobody else
Yes.
can
Right
take
of
that right from
refusal,
you.
right to
What,
defend.
yeah, and what we do is we have wrong beliefs. We say, oh, we're not going to defend ourselves. We let evil has its day, has like, having a feast, because this is what we do. So, and then how can you call yourself good? This is what I ask people all around the world. How can you call yourself good if you're not even, removing evil? You're not actively busy with saying, okay,
Right.
evil, I'm not accepting you here. You have to get out.
Yeah. Yeah.
One warning, second warning, third warning. The third time there is no warning, there will be I don't know, shots,
Consequences, you know?
consequences. Yeah, will be consequences, repercussions to pay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So the idea is that we have to understand this principle, the male and female principle. I think that is something that the fourth movie emphasizes, the connection. It's like they are locking us down because they want to remove this connection, this love connection, because love is the one that binds the two
Yes.
together,
Yes.
right? So that
Yes.
is why the heart should be there in place. Your
Yeah.
heart should be, to bring these things. Yeah. He said, Anna said, if you don't know, you can't act neither. Yeah, I know. That is the reason why, censoring is should not be done.
It shouldn't be
Even
done.
no,
Across, I mean, if you don't like what you're hearing, don't listen
just
to
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Switch
change the
the
channel.
channel.
Yeah, switch the channel. But you should not, never censor anything, even if it's a wrong information, even if it is
Yes.
a lie.
Yes.
Because if you learn just a few basic steps, I teach my children like this. If you learn the seven basic hermetic, principles, this is the seven natural law principles. Learn those two. Learn the trivium. You're going to filter out the most, not like many of the lies very
Yeah.
quickly,
Yeah.
very quickly. So you just have to give yourself the tools, like these tools, and then let the information flow. Don't worry about it, because there will be a moment. And this is a personal opinion, guys. There will be a moment that it will automatically change. People will say, "I'm not going to put lies anymore," because
Yeah.
that consciousness is starting to grow
Yeah.
together with us all.
Yeah.
So that's the good
It happened
news.
to me at a very early age when I was a teenager, where people jumping on bandwagons with pop culture, poop culture, that's what I call it,
Yeah,
and being in this mindless agreement, these echo chambers of agreement,
yeah,
where and I always say that every group, for whatever reason, mostly lack of consciousness, lack of questioning reality,
yeah,
becomes a totalitarian echo chamber of agreement.
yeah,
And and that's what people want. They want to belong. They want to have people agree with them. I am
yeah,
I should be the poster child for non-agreement,
yeah,
because everybody's telling me I'm
yeah,
wrong, or everybody's trying to shut me down or
yeah,
censoring me or whatever. It's
yeah,
because I don't go along with it,
yeah.
you
So
know.
and that's a very good point, because the moment you speak differently, or you are a different person, you're going. They say what do you call it? Conspiracy.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
that's always it is. Oh, hi, Caitlin. Yeah, it's always conspiracy theory if you're not agreeing with the
Right.
narrative. If you're
Exactly.
not.
And it's bullshit, because we need to be able to stand on our own. And if there's anything that my life has taught me, you stand strong on your own, steadfast, even when people throw shit at you, or they throw you under the bus,
Yeah.
or they
If
banish you.
it's in truth, like if it's in
Yeah,
truth will carry you on. So that
exactly.
doesn't worry.
Exactly.
Don't worry about that. So
You
don't
know.
have to be afraid. That's also something that the Matrix is telling us, is that you have to be afraid. We are watching you, and oh God, this is like the big power to be. It's all bullshit. It's all crap. Because you can do so much with tanks and guns. This is much you can use. What you cannot do is you cannot dethrone natural law.
Yeah,
That
no,
is,
you can't.
you
You
can
can't.
dethrone it.
Yeah.
So if I am a defender of natural law, and you are a defender of natural law, if we all become defenders of truth, because natural law is truth, right? If we become that, yeah, you will not be dethroned either, because I know that it will. Even if I die, it doesn't matter. Die, death. I don't even call it death. I call it transition.
It
Yeah, you
is.
go,
It's
you go.
transition,
It's just
translation.
transition.
You're
So you die.
translating into another
Yeah,
form.
you talk. Yeah, and then I can even say, you know what? I was a pain in the ass. Now I'm going back and become a pain in the ass again.
Oh
I
yeah.
I I, I would even. Hey, Maria, I would even consider today as well. I say, hey, I think I just came back to bring a pain again in their asses. You see what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Very
I
much.
have a question. Good evening. Yes, if you do. Not agree, you will lose popularity too. Yeah, that's the
It's
problem.
very true. I mean, pop
Yeah,
culture now has what they call cancel culture.
yeah,
If you're not part of the crowd, the in crowd,
yeah,
it's like, they just get rid of you. It's like, good, get rid
yeah,
of me. I don't
yeah.
care.
Yeah, it's still truth.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So even if there is one person watching this show, I don't care. It's still truth. It needs to be said, and it will be ready when you are ready to receive it. It will be here, waiting for you. You know what I mean? So
Yes. Yes.
this is basically how I think and how I do what I do, because
Yeah.
I don't think you're getting paid either for whatever you are doing for us. So this is your love, like your love letter to the world,
Right,
what you're doing with
exactly.
your work.
It's
You
it's
know?
it's like my soul, heart,
Yeah,
mind, body, soul contribution.
yeah,
I mean, it's definitely a calling. I mean, I kind of have fun with it because
yeah.
I
You
have a
have to.
snarky sense of humor.
You have to, because other, yeah, it's a beautiful sense. So don't
I
worry
like
about it. I love it.
disturbing people. I like
So
disturbing people.
yeah, so
And the
then
people
you
I
like
disturb will
you're gonna like me
eventually
a
come
lot
and
then.
thank me.
You're gonna like me a lot then.
It's a
Because
good thing.
but so anyway, so what I wanted to talk to you about as well, Maria, is the reality of the nature of reality, the true, because you were talking a
Yes.
little bit about that just a
Yes,
few minutes
that's
ago.
that is that inspiration
Yeah,
that drops in to our seventh chakra. Okay, so the seventh chakra is really it is the interface of the divine
yeah.
with the body. Okay,
So yeah,
yeah. So that interface
yeah,
sparks. This is where we get our brilliant ideas
yeah,
about a business that we want to start, or a book that we want to write, a piece of music that we want to create,
yeah,
building a house, making a baby.
yeah,
And so you were talking about the opening of the third eye.
yeah,
Well, the nature of reality is this is where inspiration hits, and then it drops into the third eye. Okay.
yeah,
The third eye, in my opinion, is the one key that will unslave all of humanity, because part of the problem with the third eye is
yeah,
that most people, number one, don't believe it exists. And
yeah,
they're so mesmerized by the outer screen of reality in the matrix, they can't even possibly imagine anything other than what they see before them for
yeah,
themselves.
yeah,
So when I tell people, I want you, like I give homework, I want you to journal about the kind of life that you want to create. They just kind of look at me, a lot of
yeah.
them, like, what? What does that
What are you
mean?
talking about? Yeah, yeah,
How do I do that? And
yeah,
so I have to instruct people to create different categories of their lives and journal under each one of these categories, whether it's health, a relationship, creativity, where you want to live, the kind of environment, the kind of down to the kind of weather that you want to experience.
yeah.
And people are like, it
They
is
lack,
like so mind blowing to
but
have that directive.
yeah,
They can't do it.
they lack imagination. That
Yes.
is
And
the
this is
imagine.
where the imagination comes in.
Yes,
It's our
the imagination.
intuition, it's our psychic,
So
it's our knowing. So if
thank
we
you for
can
saying
see
this.
clear pictures here,
Yeah,
we got it going on.
yeah.
Because then you see the possibilities, and it drops
Ah,
down to the throat.
to the
We can
throat
talk
chakra,
about it.
and then you talk about,
We can talk
yes,
about it. We can describe
and then
it.
it will bring it to
Or
reality. Yeah,
or we can apply discernment and
yeah,
create a boundary, because not everybody that we talk to about our goals are going to be happy for you. A
nope,
lot of people resent the fact that you have the audacity to imagine amazing things for yourself, and they
yeah,
want to shut it down, or they're
yeah,
jealous, or they're
yeah,
resentful, or
yeah.
they will try to sabotage.
In the times that I was going to church, because I was a period in my life I went to church a lot, and I talk about it in the show as well. I talk about it in some interviews as well, for those who are interested. Um, the one piece of scripture that I do love, that I say, this is nice, this is wisdom, because there is a lot of wisdom in the Bible. Don't
There's
get me wrong,
tons
but
of
there is
yeah,
also a lot of corruption as well.
yeah, there is.
You will discern them the moment you start understanding the laws of nature, and then you start understanding what is right and wrong, morality,
Yes,
etc.
yes,
You will see it very quickly in the Bible. The one thing I said I always love is that it says is that if you want something, this I don't recall the book and the verse now for the Christians because they will always ask you that. So, but it says, if you wish for something, you go into your room in secret, and then the Father who listens in secret will reward you openly. That is something that I always say,
Yes.
hey, that's
It's
something
pretty
that
cool, right?
I experienced that. That's the
Yes.
difference, right? That's the difference. That's experience. So that's called also gnosis, guys.
Yes.
Gnosis means
Narcissist.
knowledge by experience. Gnosis, yeah, yeah,
Yes.
knowledge by experience.
Yeah.
So for those who don't believe that the third eye exists, there is just it's just it always meant, it always was, always is, and always will be the pineal gland, the pineapple clear in Dutch. This is in Dutch, the
Exactly.
pineapple. So
Exactly.
it really looks like an eye. I understood, even when you split the brain in
Yes.
two, you make
Yeah.
it open. It looks like the eye that you have outside. It's like
Yeah.
one eye, but it's inward.
Right.
And even the position of it is very you can even say occultic, but it's very special
Yes. Yes.
because it tells you that, okay, those two are for outside and this one is for the inside.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it is the imagination that we lack. So
It's
if you don't
all
have
of
an
it's all
imagination
of
of
the
having,
possibilities, and it also houses, okay, our sixth sense. In the matrix, we have five senses only.
only five.
Outside of the matrix, we have seven. The sixth is our intuition, our creativity, our
Yeah,
imagination. And the seventh is our generosity and care of the masculine principle of gifting, giving, and the self defense principle,
yeah.
and the feminine principle of receiving, and the non aggression principle. And I
Non-aggression.
explain this, and people just like look at me like I've got five heads. They've never heard it before.
No,
That's why in
no.
the Matrix, it's all about me, me,
Me,
me,
me, me, me,
me,
me,
and
me,
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 and
me.
selfish me, and all
Yeah,
of my things, and my property, and my cars, and my
yeah.
this, and my women, and my
That's
men,
the
and my
ego, the ego identification. Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes, yeah,
So there is one question here. What can you actually do with the third eye? That's a beautiful question. Yeah,
everything,
everything. Yeah, you
everything.
can
You can
basic.
imagine the life that you want to create, and you
Yeah,
can have it. If you can see it
you
clearly,
can have it. Yeah,
it's yours.
yeah. And this is a beauty as well of this, yeah, because many people, a lot of like spiritual, so-called spiritual people, would tell you they can manifest the life you want. They want, right? Oh, I'm manifesting the life I want. I have the money in the car, and it's, all these materialistic things.
Yeah,
But
it's
but
not
they cannot
anything.
imagine the beauty of it, and that is how I know that the Matrix still has them. They
Yeah,
cannot imagine a free life, a
no,
life completely free.
yes.
They cannot. So that means that they are indoctrinated. Their third eyes is in an actual reality. They're still shut
Yeah.
down. They
They're
do know,
following a script, a
yeah,
prefab
script.
script
Yeah,
about what quote unquote success looks like. And
yeah,
I got to tell you, the people that I know who are the most unhappy
yeah.
have tons of money.
Tons of money. Yeah,
They
I
have
mean,
tons, they have more money than they know what to do with.
yeah,
And
not happy. Yeah,
they're very, very unhappy.
yeah, yeah. I think, but that is something that if you tell the audience, maybe in Holland even, that would have a different opinion about that. But
Okay,
I
you
think,
have
but
your
they have.
different opinion. I don't care. I don't need people to agree with
They
me.
don't have to agree, but that I think it's an experience thing. So they
Yes.
have to experience it yourself,
Yeah.
and you gain that knowledge through your experience. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
So what can be done with the third eye, guys, is the balancer of the two hemisphere of your brain. It's the balancer. It brings everything into balance. So it brings the masculine part of the logic, the logic, and the feminine, which is done the creative part, and then the imagination will be there to to tie these two together.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they want more. That's why they are frustrated. Yeah,
Well, and
yeah. So
that's why we have to release our focus on what they are doing and just
yeah,
focus in on what it is that you want.
yeah.
That's it. That's the bottom line. That's
That's the
why we
bottom
can't
line.
pay
Yeah,
attention and give up our life force to the outer screen or the inner screen. We
no,
have to focus in on what we want from our center screen and be able to compose that reality, create that reality, which brings us to the imagination. Because when
yeah,
we can see the end goal frame of what it is that we want to create,
Yeah.
and you see yourself in that end goal frame, okay,
Yeah.
the universe will
And
bring it to
it
you.
will bring it to you. Yeah. So
And
yeah,
it's none of your business, the chain of events, how it happens, the how it happens, when,
where
the who, and where. None of your freaking business.
no,
Your business is the why you want, the what you want, and why you want it.
that's it. That's
That's
it.
it.
That's it. So can you tell us a little bit about the wielding of creative energy? Because I think I heard you.
Yes. So
Yeah.
so this is the masculine and feminine. Okay.
Yeah.
So wielding creativity is about the feminine being in receptive mode to receive the inspiration.
Yeah.
And by doing that, the feminine gets clear on what
To
she
do.
wants to create.
Yeah.
Whether you're a man or a woman, it doesn't matter.
It's the
And then
energy. Yeah.
yeah, it's the energy. So it is the clarity, the steadfast clarity to be able to see it, okay, and then to engage all of the senses in what it is that you are creating. And engaging all the senses, what happens then, the masculine component comes in, and all of the chains of events, the the people you're supposed to meet, the
Yeah.
money that you're going to manifest to help it
Come to be.
come into
Yeah.
fruition,
They will
all
start.
of that comes
Yeah.
into play.
Yeah.
And so I always suggest to people, especially when you're starting, is to just really start journaling about what do you want, what do you want
Yeah.
to create, how do you want your life to look,
Yeah.
what would you like to shift and evolve and change
Yeah.
about your life, and get real
Yeah.
without pushing up against stuff, without making other people wrong, without comparing yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for me, to be honest, I'm going to say is that now I would even say, because we are living in a a a like slave world still. We're
Yeah.
still living in slavery.
Yeah. You have to
It's
exit
a.
that world.
I think we should massively start imagining a free world first, before imagining even the beautiful car, and because
Right.
it's
Right.
not even worth it, because then they will come with their immorality tanks and their
Yeah.
guns, and they will take it away from you when
And
they
that's
please.
and that is a good basis, okay, because I didn't even think about that. So I think when I compose reality, there's an end frame, I'm in it,
Yeah.
and the cooperating components of a free universe
Yeah.
is already implied in it. It is implicitly in there
Yeah.
already.
Yeah, so that's why I would. I think that is one of the most important things that we need to get to
Yes.
first, and then that is go through courage. I mean, courage is so important. People are so afraid. I mean, I am afraid too. Don't worry about it. I mean, it is, but courage is being afraid and still doing the right
You're
thing.
still doing the right thing.
You
Exactly.
know
No
what I
matter
mean?
what anybody else is.
Doesn't matter, no matter what anybody else is telling you. So and even if it means you want to lose your life, you're still doing the right thing. That is true courage.
Yeah.
And that is the way as well. You transition with courage. You don't transition because you are afraid of you holding back. We have to start speaking the truth,
Yeah.
and that on a massive scale. I
Yeah.
think you are doing that perfectly, Myra. I'm so in love. I find it so difficult to leave you, to let you go. We are 1 hour.
We are at 1 hour, okay,
We
and
are at
we're
1 hour.
gonna like hold it to Rita. So,
Yeah, I'm going to. Yeah, so we don't have problems with the whole team.
oh my
So this is
god,
1 hour. So I think we're going to round it up. I'm very thank you for everything you have done for us, and
oh,
also
you're so welcome. My
yeah,
pleasure. My
those
pleasure.
times.
Everybody, go to my website and
Yeah,
download my
please.
free class when you opt in. Um,
Yeah. So can you give a little bit about your website as well for people, so they know where to
so
find you?
so
Yeah.
my website is lovetruth and andbeauty.com. And I've got a welcome video there. And at the welcome video, there's an opt-in box where you can put in your email and you can receive my free class
Mm.
on what the fuck waking up is. And so
Yeah.
we go a little bit further into it, and then you can start receiving some of my trainings through. I send out emails every now and again, not a whole lot because I I, I don't like doing them per se.
No, no. I know that I don't like either, but sometimes just to communicate something, we do
Yeah,
that.
yeah, just
Yeah.
to communicate.
Yeah.
And then my YouTube channel, Love, Truth, and Beauty. And then I'm on BitChute, I'm on Float, I'm on Odyssey, I'm on
Yeah.
all sorts of other things. I'm
Oh,
One Great Work Network as
yeah.
well.
Yeah. So, so yeah. So, Eva, put your website there. We love truthandbeauty.com. Right.
Yes,
So there is one question here. So, how can I
yes,
activate my third eye? That is a good. Basically, yeah. So I don't know. You wanna
yeah.
answer that
Start
one?
start giving yourself permission to imagine things that you want to create and journal about that. Write
In
it
general.
down.
So this is
Thank
the
you, Ava.
yeah, so this is the website lovetruthandbeauty.com. I think she already
Thank you,
she
Ava.
already went there. Yeah, she already went there. So yeah, so you can have all the materials there. So how do you activate the third eye is through imagining.
Through
That is
imagination,
the
writing
that
it
is
down.
yeah,
The
that is
power
the
of
start.
writing things
Yeah,
down and journaling.
yeah,
It is the fast track to waking up and staying awake.
yeah.
Because waking up, spiritual awakening is not a one-off event. People think like new age bullshit is
That's
going
good
to
one.
tell you it's one-off and everything's going to be aligned. I just want to slap those people
It's not
because
true.
they're
No.
lying to you. They're completely distorting
Yeah,
the frequency of the practice you're going to be doing with the
yeah,
great work. The great work does not stop.
yeah. No, the great
Spiritual
work is a
awakening is
continuum.
not a one-off event. You're
No.
going to be distracted by the matrix over and over and over again. I catch myself snoozing constantly, and
Yeah.
I have to like wake the fuck up
Yeah,
and
because
go,
they want to
oh
put you
god, I did
there.
it again.
They want to keep you, put you back into that sleep state,
Yes,
that
and it's
inactive
easy to
state.
do. It's easy
It's
to do.
very I don't care state. They want to
Yeah,
put you back there
yeah,
continually. So you have always every day you have to choose to not
there
be
it
asleep,
is. Yeah,
basically, right? So
yeah,
and another thing that I would say as well would help is meditation. So like meditation is good, but it's like meditation is one side of the coin,
yes.
right?
Yes,
So it's
there's a
not
body practice that we have
yeah,
to do.
yeah,
So for myself as a yogini and a martial artist,
yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
that's nice. Yeah.
and a lover of nature, I got to do it. I
Yeah.
don't feel right.
Yeah.
I
So so
feel
so
I feel like a zombie if I don't do it.
so what yoga? You mean
Yeah,
yoga? Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So I will be trying the yoga that you suggested, the laughing. So guys, so she was
Laughing yoga is
suggesting
great.
the laughing yoga. Yeah, yeah. Let's try that
Or
one.
go to a comedy show and just laugh.
Just laugh your ass off. So yeah, so basically the third eye is really activated when the two hemisphere of your brain is working properly. So
Yes,
if you are logically in place and you are creatively in place, so you exercise love and you
yes,
exercise logic. Again, the alchemical, this is how we started as well. Again, the alchemical wedding, those two together. And the way you bring creativity as well to fruition is when you meditate, you are at a state of rest. Then you can really think about your thoughts. Like you could think, oh, is it my thought? Okay, so how about love? You go back and forth between logic and love, and then
yes,
that is going to bring the yeah. So so he's saying, why is the third eye so important? Because it is the balance bringer. It is the fruit of both masculine and
yes.
feminine force, right? It is the balancer, the one who is in the middle. That's why it's also in the middle here
Yeah.
between the two eyes, right? You can
And it's
say,
an indicator that you've exited the matrix.
yeah, yeah. So one person as well thought ask because I had one presentation that I was talking about what does when are you awake, really, when are you really awake?
When you
And
own
one
your attention.
when you own, yeah. But I just said one explanation. I said, if you can imagine a free world without government, without religion, yeah, and without money, then you know for sure 100% that you are awake. I think so. So
Yeah,
and
and you have to be able to own your attention. You
you have,
cannot battle. You can't battle government. You can't battle those shit shows because when you do,
yeah, you
they
have to choose
own
your
your
fights, right?
attention.
Yeah, you have
You
to
have
choose
to
your,
focus in on
yeah,
a free world, a free
yeah,
universe based on what it is that you're focusing in on about
yeah.
what you are going to
Are
contribute
going to,
yourself
yeah,
to that.
yeah, because I do believe that all of us has a mission,
Yes.
and we're not here by accident. That's what they want to tell you. You're not by accident. You have a mission. I would say the first and foremost, your mission is truth. You know, harmonizing with truth. That's like the first thing that you like, and how do that. So basically, harmonize with the will of the creator, which
Yes.
is the creation. The creation is the will of the creator. We just don't destroy it. We don't kill it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we don't excessively giving a helping hand either. So many times say, yeah, but we are just giving nature a helping hand. Doesn't need that, right? But we can do our best to keep it the way, make it so it can flourish, and so we can
Yes.
as a
We're
consciousness being,
co-creating it,
yeah,
all of us.
yeah, so we can co-create in it and experience as well our own experiences, which is, I think, an awesome way of saying it. So I have another question. Is je derde oog altijd open of is die dicht? So this one is asking, if is your third eye always open
No,
or is it closed? No, it's not always open.
it's not always open.
And in fact, it is more closed than it is open. So that is then the that's the problem. That's the
Look,
problem we
Judy
have.
is here.
Oh,
Judy is
you
here.
have a dog. So
Giovanna is
Giovanna,
here.
yeah. Also, I believe also that the archangels are in our lives. Yeah, the archangels. If you're talking about archangels, these are forces. Yeah, I would even dare to say right now, because I think I didn't really got too deep into this, topic of archangels, and you have also Anunnakis and all these, some of these beings. They are just forces. They are not like Satan is a force. It is a thought, a way of thinking, a way of doing. So there's a lot of Christians being satanic. Most of them don't even know, because the matrix implants this satanic mindset of many of us without us knowing, because we just accept what they are telling us. We automatically behave satanically. That is the satanic force. It's not a I think it is also a separate force, but that is influencing you because of your way of thinking. Yeah. So but most of the time, if they're talking about, and especially in terms of religion, those kind of things, it has to do with astrology. Yeah, astrological forces that was not, people couldn't influence them, and they considered them divine or out of our own reach. You know what I mean? So like, we don't decide what Jupiter is doing now. We don't decide what Mars is doing now. These are all celestial bodies. So they call them as well archangels, because they have these in the traditions. They think that these forces influence our behavior, which I agree, by the way. But this is something that we will, bit by bit, we will come there. Like the next season, I will be talking about tarot cards. I will be talking
Nice.
about tarot cards. Yeah, that's what would be nice, and the Kabbalah as well. So guys, expect that. I think our time is up.
Our
Our
time
time
is
is
up. Rita's going, okay, guys.
our time is up. So again, thank you for everything, Myra.
You're
And
welcome. Thank you
you're
so much
always
for
welcome
having
in
me.
Eigen Pad. You're always welcome. You just
All
have to.
right.
You are a phone away. You just call me, and then we put
Okay.
you back on
Sounds
the
good.
show.
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
So I think our time here is done. Bye bye. Bye bye, Anna.
Bye,
So thank you
sweethearts.
yeah.
Thank you
So
so
thank you for
much.
everything. Yeah. Bye bye. So oké, bedankt voor het luisteren, mensen. We zien elkaar volgende week. Doei doei.
Bye, Eva.
Bye bye. Yeah.